What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping back into Night Terrors with the Green Lantern issue number 1. You're gonna want to stay all the way through to the end because we also have Sinestro. I know a lot of people are interested. How are you going to show Sinestro his greatest fear? An individual that has overcome fear in ways that nobody else ever has. But the main story is focusing on the one and only Hal Jordan, a story by Jeremy Adams, with the world's heroes being put into a slumber by insomnia as he searches for the Nightmare Stone. All of our heroes have been jumped into their worst nightmares, their biggest fears, and we have seen this play out for a multitude of heroes and villains. But now it is time to see Hal Jordan's, the man with the willpower to overcome anything. What will happen when he is confronted by his greatest nightmares? Make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up exactly where Green Lantern issue number 2 had left off. Going into the cockpit to see what the heck is going on. This is when they get hit by insomnia. As Hal Jordan opens up that door, he finds himself not going into the cockpit. He finds himself at a funeral, and he hears his mother. Looking up to her, he sees that this is his mother, but she looks the way that she did when he was a child. And we see that Hal has transformed into his kid self. And today, they are at the funeral of his father. His mother telling him that it's all fine, that he simply needs to say goodbye. As he approaches the coffin, a hand is coming out. Not really sure what's going on, not sure what's happening. We see the monstrous version of his father come out of this casket. As little Hal goes to run away, his family and friends, they all turn into monsters. All of them trying to grab hold of him, telling him that there is nothing to fear. As he reaches the door and opens it up, this is where he runs into Carol. The entire scenario and background changes, letting him know that he is late, that he needs to get in that cockpit and get ready to test it out. And so he hops in, but as soon as he hops in, this thing takes off. It is going full throttle, believing that this should be impossible, mainly because it doesn't even have an engine, that this thing is really just a hunk of metal. But yet it takes him all the way to the desert, with him crash landing. He looks up only to find Abin Zur, finding the wreckage of the alien ship, telling Hal Jordan that he requires aid, telling him to take the ring, with Hal Jordan putting the ring on, saying that he's honored to do so, but he is no hero. We see that this ring is starting to siphon his life force, that Abin Zur needed somebody that was weak, someone that this world would not miss, and so it brought him Hal Jordan. It's draining the life force of Hal into Abin Zur. With Hal Jordan grabbing something nearby, he cuts off his own finger. He does this to get the ring off of his hand. Seeing a door nearby, he rushes over to try and open it up. As the Green Lantern comes in to slash Hal Jordan in half, he opens that door only to find himself on Oa. He stands in front of the Guardians. They are talking about the reports of the events that had resulted in a fellow corpsman's death. And while Hal Jordan, he is offered up to go take a team down to the planet. But the Guardians deny this request, saying that he is no longer part of the Green Lantern Corps, not after the United Planets had took control. At this point, Hal Jordan is seeing that things aren't right, that this room, Kilowog, the Guardians, none of this is real. Using his ring, he pushes the illusion back, with Insomnia going on to say in the form of the Guardians that he really has to admit that he has fared way better than all the other heroes on this planet. He had to shift the reality so many times to find the perfect fear, warning them to get back. We see the Guardians turn into monsters and they begin to attack Hal Jordan, with Hal manifesting Spartan warriors. They take down this hellish nightmare, but there is still one more fear that he must face as he flies into the giant lantern, as he flies into the central battery, Hal Jordan is now facing his greatest nightmare. And so with Hal Jordan facing off against this is what takes us to the story of Sinestro, present day in Coast City. As he walks through the city, Sinestro is not the man that he once was. He was once a man that was feared. He used to traffic in fear. He made fear. But now, he is mocked. He is belittled. And even worse, he has been forgotten. A man that once ruled planets and star systems. Entire races had quaked at the mere sound of his voice. He was the definition of power, of fear. But now he is nothing. Now, he is afraid. As the insomnia spell begins to take people over, we see the transformation of Sinestro's view. Not sure if he is alive, not sure if he is dead, not sure where he is at all. But his surroundings are completely alien, yet they are oddly familiar, twisted and warped, somehow rooted in a memory. All of the shame, it blends with the pain. Almost a nostalgic cocktail of duties abandoned, of friends turned foe. He doesn't need to know where he is or how he got here. He exuded power, killed without hesitation, ruled with impunity, and then it was gone. He found himself shamed by how Pariah's Dark Army manipulated him, used him, and improved on him. He became a twisted, better version of himself. But now here, he is without his ring, without himself. He feels as if he is nothing. This is where he is met by an evil version of Aben-Zur, saying that he is to return home. And he knows, Sinestro knows that this is impossible, wondering who is responsible for such treachery. And what Sinestro sees is himself, as we see this evil Sinestro turn into a hideous monster, asking him how does it feel to fail? How often do you play every moment, every decision, and wonder if things were better before? Is this where things begin to fall apart? As this monster gets destroyed, we see what appears to be a Green Lantern on the horizon. At first, Sinestro believes that this is Hal Jordan, but this is not Jordan. This is Sinestro Green Lantern, and he has just come to save Sinestro's life. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Not a bad direction to go. I am curious how Sinestro would do if he had his ring on him. But the fact that he doesn't have his ring means that he is very susceptible to fear. The possibility, the capability to make him see fear is much bigger and much greater than if he had his ring on. While Hal Jordan, on the other hand, while he is powerful, while he has that willpower, it took him quite a little bit of time to recognize what was going on, to recognize that this was all some kind of an illusion. But Hal Jordan faces his fears. He faces them head on. And while he was able to push through most of these fears, his biggest one lies ahead of him. That, of course, is Parallax. When it comes to Sinestro's Green Lantern form, it's going to be very interesting to see what direction this goes in, to see how Sinestro handles this situation. Will he be able to overcome the fear like he has so many times before? Will he recognize that the ring is not the source of him overcoming this fear, but just the tool that he implemented to instill fear on others? So far, Knight's Terror really has been doing a great job. I have yet to read one of these comics that I didn't like. Now, there are a few that I won't be reading that are like Poison Ivy, Catwoman, Harley Quinn, only because I'm not a fan of the writers, and I don't even want to waste the money diving into it. But for the most part, we're covering almost all of this line. Next week, we have some Nightwing, we got some other things coming up, we still have Zatanna to cover, which I'm really excited for because she is still awake. That Insomnia's power didn't actually work on her. But so far, this is really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm really excited to see how all of this is going to come to its end. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that is going on with Night Terrors, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything happening with this event. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50. From loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.